Have you ever had clients where it's like, oh my God, this project never seems to come to an end. They always ask questions and it's like, this is not what we talked about. That's scope creep. And today I want to talk about how you can manage expectations with your clients, what scope creep actually is, how to set boundaries, and how to make all of this really easy using a ClickUp dashboard. Shall we? We've all been there. We've all been there, especially in the early stages of business where it's like, oh my God, but I thought I told my client all the things they're getting and they're asking for more and they're asking for more. And this wasn't part of this and that wasn't part of it. And it just seems like you are suddenly on two completely different pages. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Today, I want to talk about what you can do and what I have done so your clients know exactly what is happening, so you easily can be like, know what I told you we're getting, in a nice and professional way, and how to be able to manage all of this without having to constantly explain yourself to your client. So number one is actually setting those expectations. And that starts right in the beginning when you are talking with your client. You're really setting up that stage for success when you are early on setting those expectations and really saying, these are the deliverables, these are the timelines, this is our sign-off process, and you clearly set those expectations to cut down on potential scope creep later on. Because actually what scope creep is just a miscommunication between you and your client loving your work and asking for more. So let's give them room for that. With you setting those general expectations, it becomes suddenly easy to really set boundaries. This set of expectations, this scope is not just for your client to know what they can expect. It's also for you to be able to say, I am sorry, this is out of scope of work, but you're more than happy to submit another request of work right over there, and it's all good. We will come to that. There's a nice little solution for you in ClickUp how this can be really, really easy. Also, make sure you determine which member the client can contact. Do you have an open policy where they can talk to everybody, which might cause issues in communication because they tell them that and some information is there. So pay attention to really who your client can talk to with for specific issue. Make sure your working hours are respected, theirs and yours. You are not open 24/7. Nobody is open 24/7. So if you are working late, just schedule your email to go out so that you still respect those working hours. Don't assume with your clients. Make sure you're really on the same page. Keep asking questions, keep asking questions, keep asking questions. Not just to make sure you're not assuming, but also if you keep asking questions, you understand your client better and they feel seen and heard. Also make sure that your client really understands your product and services that you are delivering by having them repeated back to you so they can validate that they really understand and heard you what you're talking about. Now let's come really to this piece of scope creep. Scope creep just means you didn't set the right expectations. Maybe you set the right expectations, but the client wants more or needs more and they're asking for it and you did not set the boundaries and this is not in our scope of work, or you simply don't have a process for them to request additional work. A really easy way to manage work requests is using a form in ClickUp that you use for client support, group support. We use it for start up your ClickUp. My clients use it for, hey, I need this graphic and that graphic. They all work the same. As you can see right here, this is my VIP support request form for start up your ClickUp. So when somebody has an issue somewhere, they can send over a request. And based on how you want to handle this, this form can be changed. In this case, it is more of a support request. If it is a work request, you can ask, what's the image? What's the video? And it just makes it easy to handle more of the support type tickets. For actual work requests or pieces of content, you really can use a simple like submit videos. You've seen this form in the video where I talk about a short form video agency that we set up in ClickUp, where it's like, this is a work request. What's the video title? What's the video type? What do you need? Give me this stuff. And then I can go in and be like, okay, this is in scope. This is not in scope. It's not in scope. I can estimate the time and the effort that goes into it and really get back to the client and be like, hey, by the way, this is about what this would budget. It is out of scope. We didn't talk about this. So this is what it would cost additional. And not only that, to really drill down on that communication, setting those expectations and having work requests ready to go for your team as well as your client to be able to clearly communicate and skip this whole scope creep thing going on. To really clearly communicate with them, you want to have an easy access point for your client. Now, I'll link the video at the end. We talked about client portals in ClickUp before. I have a whole video on that for you. It will be linked in the end too. So let's stay with this whole thing for a second more. To deliver really a seamlessly client experience and cut down on scope creep, having a easy access point for your client to be able to do and see all the things they need to do, pulling up and setting up a ClickUp dashboard is a great way. Now there's a second way of doing this. I have that in the video linked at the end. In this right here, you see right now our team meeting. For agency clients, we have a similar setup when it's a social media agency, where nice visual on the top, tasks that are overdue or due right in there. We have our general content plan. Again, this is similar to what we use for social media agencies or social media VAs. Our meeting notes with the clients, where it's like, hey, we talked about this. You were supposed to do that. And really keep track of your meetings and your calls with them so that you can take action on it. And having your calendar view or maybe even a timeline view that shows the different projects going on, that shows the different timelines going on. Now, other things you could have in here is a text box with the button that links to the work submission of, hey, I need something else. You theoretically matters, you need to manage it well because we don't have a centralized space for those yet, can add the chat widget in here too to have off-task conversations with your team. But again, if you want to dive into client portals in ClickUp more and how they can help you to really eliminate the scope creep and set boundaries in your business, I have a video for you right here that talks about it. So go watch that, see those two different ways of how you can build client portals within ClickUp, and make sure you are subscribed because we are coming up with daily videos for you to really systemize your ClickUp and run your business more efficiently.